Hey, what's going on, everybody? Gareth here with FCP Euro, and today Hey, what's going on, everyone? Gareth here with FCP Euro, and today we're going to do another really quick product review. Okay, so what we have here is a complete front control arm kit for the second gen F25 X3 and the first gen F26 X4. We have a couple of different control arm kits on the website with varying parts and varying quantities of parts, but just in this one, we're gonna be talking about all the different suspension components that are in the front suspension of these cars. So what we have here are the two control arms. These are the wishbones, and these are the thrust arms. The most common failure you're gonna see here on the thrust arm is this inner bushing. They wear out, you get a lot of suspension play. If they're really bad, you'll even get some vibration while driving, or when you brake, you'll get a lot of vibration as well. Now, the ball joint is completely separate from the thrust arm in this application. And so the ball joint actually bolts to the knuckle. So you have to make sure that you replace the screws when you replace the ball joint. So where applicable, we like to make sure that we include the replacement hardware where it's required. If it's a one-time use situation or it's a self-locking nut, you wanna make sure that when you order the kit, you're gonna get what you need to go ahead and replace those components. Another issue that you could come across too within the front suspension is loose ball joints. In the case of the wishbone, the ball joint is physically part of the control arm. So if the ball joint has developed some kind of play, you're gonna have to replace this entire part. Coming over here, we have our sway bar links. These are a very common source of noise within the front suspension. So if you're traveling over, let's say a speed bump or a pothole, you might hear a clicking noise. Usually play within the sway bar links. So these are very common to wear out over time and start making noise. And then along with that, we have our tie rod assemblies, which compose of the inner tie rod end and the outer tie rod end. And this is the linkage that connects the steering rack to the knuckle. And so very similar here, you could develop play on this inner joint here, or you could develop play on this outer joint. Either way, if you have play within this link, you could run into a situation where the vehicle has bad tire wear, very loose feeling within the steering. And so generally speaking, you know, this comprehensive kit, you would be replacing all of this. Even though this is not necessarily a control arm, this is a critical part in the front suspension and it should be inspected and checked at a regular basis. The outer joint does have a dust seal on it, which is this rubber boot, prevents moisture and dirt from getting in the joint. But this inner joint does not have that, it is exposed. So you wanna make sure that when you replace your tie rod assembly to also replace the steering rack bellow, which not only keeps stuff out of the steering rack, but also keeps this joint here free from any abrasives or moisture. And so we include these in this complete comprehensive front kit. So this has been another real quick product review. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions or comments, go leave in the comment box below. We'll make sure that we get back to you. If you like what you saw, hit that like button. Also subscribe. We'll have plenty more videos coming out. And like always, I'll see you for the next one. Later.